All right, so thanks for joining in. Um, I thought it'd be pretty cool to do a huge summon with like 20, 30, 40,000 of the tokens. So over the course of the week, I spent pretty much all of it farming rift shards and saved up all my tokens for today and ran through rifts probably, I don't know, 1,000 times, probably 11, 1,200 times. So I got my 40,000 tokens. And the reason why I did this was because as I was doing rifts through the week with the bonuses, I would, get about 2,000 tokens and I would use them up and I'd pull random gear out and I'd end up feeding it immediately to my weapons. It didn't really matter what it was. And so I got to the point where I have a 4-star eternal weapon here. It's pretty decent. It's got an all right roll, but my armor definitely needs an upgrade. And my shield, while I do have one of the Eclipse set here, the stats on this shield aren't the greatest. They're probably around halfway, maybe a little less than half. So I really need to get a better one of these, and I'd love to get some of the Uranus, maybe a helmet and a body piece. I've already got one, but the stats are kind of so-so. So I thought I would just save a whole bunch of the tokens and pull all at once, and then I could see what I have, and then just lock those good items down and feed the rest later. So before I get started, I wanted to set up to make sure that I have enough space to store all of those items. I think if I do close to I'm going to get 20 pulls, so I shouldn't run out of space, but just in case, I should get quite a few items. And I'll probably use maybe 4,000 of them to do companion pulls towards the end too, just because I'd like to get a couple eternal companions to help out my team for PvP or survivability, because I have 3 so far. I've got this rare one, which is pretty cool, but I'm really looking for a little bit more damage and defense during the PvP. I don't know if it'll really help that much, but I'm going to try. So I see we've got a couple questions in the chat. I can try to answer those before we get started on all the pools. So the first question was, how do I craft? I'm not sure what you mean by craft. There's a lot of things you can craft, but in general, if you go to the, if you go to your item crate, and if you can craft an item, they'll have a little green dot above it, and you can just click the item and click craft, and it tells you what you need. In this case, it's the, infinite essences, which you really don't want to spend those to craft anything. You really want to save them up for the mounts, or if you save 30, you can pull one eternal piece of equipment at random. I might want to save up even more of these because while I don't know for sure, I would guess later in the game, maybe a few versions down the road, there may be some events to spend more of these on different things. I don't know, but I tend to save them up. So I hope that helps with the crafting question. I'll just poke through here. You can see most of this stuff crafts with the eternal essences, and these craft with quartz, I think. No? So anyway, I hope that helps with the crafting question. As far as transferring, if you want to transfer stats from one equipment to another, you just click the transfer button here, and you select, let's see here, I've got 2 rings. So say that I wanted to transfer 450 enhancement levels to a different one. I would just select this one, and then I would click what I want to transfer it to, and then I have to pay the fee for the quartz, and it goes up. The higher the tier of the item, the more the cost is. So obviously I don't want to transfer these now, but in case you want to do that later, that's how. So hopefully that's helpful. So let's get started. I just want to make sure I'm recording this. I'm probably going to edit this later because the presentation will be much better. So as you can see, I've got just over 40,000 of the tokens. So before I get started on the equipment pool, I'm going to go ahead and do a couple companion pools, because if I wait and I don't get what I want from the equipment, I might be tempted to spend them all. So let me go ahead and pull 2 of these. I'll spend 4,000 tokens. So here we go. And we'll see what we get. So not surprised, I only got one of the Eternals here. And I don't have that one, so that's good. And we'll see what else pops up. A lot of stuff that I already have. Not really surprised. So I'll do one more. And look, I got another one. So that's cool. I got 2 there. And let's see if I get anything great. That's actually kind of nice. So I got the same guys before. Voltaire, I don't have him, but I got an A, rank A, and a rank D, and I got another one, so I should be able to combine the previous ones into 2 rank A's, maybe, and make a rank S. So that'll be pretty sweet if I have the points to do it. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. Kind of excited because a lot of times when I get stomped in PvP, this guy's in the lineup, so I don't know how much he will help, but it looks like he raises defense and gives you a little bit of health recovery on attack. So awesome. And he's got, looks like he has pretty good stats. So I'm going to take this dude here, and looks like I'm going to have to improve these guys first. So I've got 1 rank B. I'll rank this guy up to rank B. Okay, and I'll pick, let's see which one has the better stats. So just in case, one's better than another. So it looks like this first one, he has, if you click the button down here, you can see the ranges of all their stats. So this one has almost max attack and pretty high health and defense on the left, and the one on the right, I can tell just by glancing, he has lower stats all across. So I am going to feed the weaker one to the better one. All right, and then I'll do the same thing as I'll compare them side by side. So it looks like my guy on the right is even better than the one that I got on the left, so I will feed the weaker one to him. And it looks like I have enough soul stones. So this is going to help me a lot in PvP, I think. And there we go. He's got 12 billion attack, 1.3 billion defense, and 7 billion health. I need to get my defense up, but that's pretty good. I do have to get rid of one of these, but let's say I get rid of her. Throw him in there. So not bad. I got a rank S Eternal Hero with 4,000 Eternal tokens. So that's pretty lucky. And now off to the equipment pools. Okay, so equipment pools. Got 36,000 left. So crossing my fingers, here we go. Here's the first one. And I'm not really expecting anything good here. But if I get some decent space stats on something, that would be nice. So this is going to be fodder. Roll number 2. Got 2 Eternals. It's kind of nice. I got the Thawing Pillar Belt. And it has alright stats. It actually looks pretty decent. It's got a lot of lines on it. So I could consider using that at some point, I guess. And the Mecha Armor, which I don't need because I'm not going ranged. Or at least I don't plan on it. So got 1 that time. So statistically, about every 2 pulls, you're going to get an extra Eternal. I think it's like 4.6% chance to get one out of these 10. So that's close to every 2 10 plus ones. I'm getting a lot of these thawing items, so I'm just going to skip looking at the next one. I know what it is. I'm really looking for the God of War and the Uranus sets. and ones with good stats or things that I haven't seen before. So Frozen guy, it's actually really high stats. So I could consider using that helmet later if I get a +2 ring. And this one, the Devil's Bone, has pretty good attack on that one. It's got only 3 lines, but you know, we could live with it if I really needed to. And it's a 3-star, so that's a pretty good roll. All right, just one this time. Got a Destiny hat. I call it a hat. It's a helmet, I guess. I don't know. It's pretty crappy. Low stats. Not that I wanted one anyway. Okay, only one. Got the Thawing Gaze. Really low stats, so that's garbage. Gonna feed my armor and shield. All right, so I got 2 that time. Let's see what we've got. I got more Thawing armor. It has pretty decent defense, but only 3 lines of stats, so that's not that great. Guardian of Water, very low stats. So that one will go into the garbage to feed my other eternal items. All right, cool, I got 2 more. All right, I got a Yag necklace. So I've got, this is actually, so decent critic damage increase. I don't know that I really need that one, but this is interesting. I've got the, looks like the undead type companion's health is reduced by 50%. All immortal type allies' full health is increased by 10%. I'm not even sure what that means. I'm not sure if immortal means eternal companions, but I've got the thing where my companions, when they die, to turn into skeletons, which would mean that when those skeletons are halfway killed, it would recover the rest of my troops. I don't think that's going to be very useful, but the stats on this one are pretty decent, so I might have a look at that later. And then I got the Undead Greatsword with abysmal attack power, so I will probably just feed that. I've fed another one to my weapon before, and as much as I want one of these for PvP, I don't have a ring for +2, and this has really low stats, so I'm gonna trash it. We've got 10 pulls left. I'm gonna take a quick pause and advertise to the Discord channel and see if we want more folks to come watch. We've got a couple more viewers. Just to recap, I had some questions asked and I helped out our viewers, and then I did 2 10+1 pulls for companions to get that out of the way, and I actually got enough to rank up a new Eternal Companion to rank S, and I did 8 10+1 equipment pulls. Haven't gotten anything really exciting yet, so we're going to keep rolling. So I've got 10 more left to go. And while I do this, thanks to everybody for joining and being patient while I figure out this new live streaming stuff. Another Thawing Gaze. It's just throwing them at me. So this one's decent. If I can get a +2 ring, I might actually hang on to that because it's close to the max stats, and I could use the penetration and crit cap rate if I can get a +2 ring one of these days. All right, next one. No luck on the extra drop. Okay, so I've been looking for this, and is it good? It is, like right, not even in the middle, not even 50%. So probably worse than the one that I already have. So nice to see it, but it's not what I want. Needs to be, needs to have some better stats on it. So I'm having really bad luck on extra drops since everybody joined from Discord. Not your fault. Okay, what's this thing? I haven't seen it before. Fafnir's Pledge. Oh, it's a shield for... I don't know, I guess it's a standalone, so you need a +2 or a +1 ring to use it, but it says after taking life-threatening damage, attacks within 5 seconds recover 2.5 health, and HP won't drop below 1. So this is, I guess, the alternate to the Undead Greatsword, I think. So the stats are kind of okay on it. I mean, they're not, they could definitely be higher, but it's an interesting set bonus, so I might hang on to that. It's got a lot of stat lines, so we'll see. Hey, thanks for the good lucks in the chat. And hey, is it Exy? I'm not sure. I'm really bad at these pronunciations. So we spun again. We got only one drop. Man, I'm having like such crap luck here on the extras, but I really don't care as long as I get something good. So I got the ring, the Light of Razatori, or Raztori. I'm not sure on how to say that one, but it has decent attack. Not that it matters. I might hang on to this as well because I used the rest of mine for fodder, and I've noticed that a lot of people in the arena are using this one. So I'm not sure if this extra lightning damage is really that much overpowering compared to whatever I'm using, but I don't know. Just noticing a trend. I haven't been using one. All right, we've got 6 left. Again, no luck. So let's cross fingers for something good. Got another ring. Lower stats. So nothing new. All right, there we go. I got an extra one. So even if it's crappy, it's better than nothing. Okay, so I recognize this Demon Chaser, and it has really good health. So if I wanted to use it, I would hang on to it. No crit lines, but I could reroll the Companion Defense if I really wanted to use it. And I have an Absolute already that's locked. It may not be quite as good, I'm not sure, so I'll compare those later. I just need its companion so I can get that +2 bonus. I feel kind of trapped without it because I just can't take advantage of those set bonuses. All right, Brutal Will earrings. These are nearly maximum stats, so that's nice to see. I'll at least consider hanging on to those because I only need one of them if I can get a +1 or +2 ring. And with those stats, I could get some extra defense. That'd be nice. All right, cool. So I got an extra drop that time. So it looks like luck's coming back. All right, I've got a Mana Core Fang. So the stats on this are horrible. And I don't really need this because I've got a Yag necklace that gives me the Mana Core effect. Of course, if I want to change the Yag necklace, I would need to swap them out. So I could hang on to these just in case. And the Odin's Will, really poor stats, no advanced chest bonus on the basic rolls here, so that's going to feed my other equipment. All right, we've got 2 more tries, and we got no luck on the extra drop. Okay, so I've got the shield, and it has much higher health than the one that I have. My current one is 2 stars, so I will almost certainly be taking this and transferring my stats over to it, which is awesome because I was hesitant to level up my shield before I got a better roll. So I'll compare the stat lines, but think I'll probably keep this one, almost certainly. Because my other one's maybe 10,000 or 11,000, so this will help my health a ton. So I've got one more roll left. Need something good, something that I can use immediately. Well, let's see what it is. And a Brutal Gaze. And it is a high roll and 5 stat lines. So I like the look of it if I ever choose to wear it. It's got, I could re-roll skill cooldown 16%. Like this is a really great one. I think I could probably re-roll the attack speed or the defense for something more favorable, but I think I'm gonna have to lock this one and keep it because of the cooldown on it, but we'll see. So I think that's all I've got. Yep, I'm all out. So we'll take a glance of what I got so far. My companions is, some of you weren't online earlier, I rolled this dude, Voltaire, the Lord of Evil. I got 3 of them. I got 1 rank A and 2 rank Ds. So I basically found the most powerful rolls out of them and fed them to each other to get this rank S. So this is actually my best Eternal, other than maybe this Majin Satyr, but his stats are real low. So that's pretty good. It only cost me 4,000 tokens. And then equipment-wise, this is what 36,000 tokens got me, is this page right here. So I've actually got, not as good as it could have been, but I'm really happy about this, the Eclipse Shield. So I'll almost certainly transfer stats over on that in just a minute. And what else did I want to look at? This Brutal Gaze was really nice. Where'd he go? He's in here somewhere, right here. I'm gonna lock that fella. And the earrings, I'm probably not gonna keep these. Like, I think it was, who was it in chat? Michael or Michael. I'm not sure how to pronounce that. Sorry. Exy, if that's how you say it. So yeah, I'm gonna probably feed these and keep the helmet because, like you said, if I get an absolute, I'm gonna need to wear the necklace and the earring to make that set. I got an undead greatsword, but the stats are horrible. And I did get was it the shield? Fafnir's Pledge. So if I get a +1 or a +2, I can just use the shield. And I'm just gonna lock the shield for now and toss the sword. And anything else I got? Not really. So that's really it. Really wish I would have got some of the Uranus set, but that's the luck. So I already had one that was locked, and it's pretty good. So there's really no reason for me to keep the other one. And I have one God of War that has so-so stats. I could swap it out with this fella here to get my 3 set, but the stats on this one are nearly max, so that's really going to kill my defense if I use it. So what I'm really looking for is to get a Uranus helmet and chest piece so I can do the sword and shield of the God of War and the helmet and the chest piece for the Uranus set. If I get good ones, I'll keep them, and then I'll get the ring or something to give me a +1 or +2, and I can get the 3 to 4 set bonus on both of them, but that's going to probably take me forever since we have such poor luck. So my plan will be to farm Rift tokens for the rest of the week, and once the weekend rolls around, I'll have probably 1,200 or so with any luck, and next weekend I'll do the same thing. And maybe I'll have better luck then. So if anything, I've got a great shield and I have a chance to... I don't know what I need to do. I really need to get some defense up so I can progress because my defense is lacking. It's just horrible. Not really sure what I need to do. I need something to bring it up. So maybe I could get that brutal gaze and just swap it out and get it to a 3-star instead of making this armor 4-star, because it's going to cost a lot of it's going to cost too much to bump this up to 4-star and then, you know, get something else that's better that I want to replace it with and then do the same thing over again. So maybe I'll just feed everything in my shields and I'll have a ton of health and hardly any defense. So if you guys have any recommendations, please leave me a comment and I'll have to figure that out. So I'm not sure if having just a crazy amount of health and low defense is worth it, because I don't know if things will one-shot me or if there's something else I can do. Because this has 2154 base and that helmet was close, so I guess I could invest in the helmet if I really was certain I wanted to keep it. But it has even more, so at this point I should probably level this one up to 3-star and just be on the lookout for the set pieces that I want, but then I'm going to lose my crit damage increase, and that's going to hurt a little bit. So, all right, that's really all there is. I'm going to take some time to transfer these stats over now because this one's 1100 health, and I really need to get the I really just want to optimize leveling up anything 3-star or higher into an item that has high base stats. So I've really got to do that here. So let's go ahead and transfer those over. Glad I have some quartz. And then we really need a button to remove all the gems at once. Probably should have checked my health before and after just to see the effect, but 11220 on the basic health on this one. And this one's 13573, so quite a bit better. And I'll probably re-roll some of those stats too. Try to get something a little better. And looks like chat's all quiet, so if you guys want to say anything, feel free to drop a note or just watch me transfer these stats over and these gems. I might start feeding some of this stuff in. So I mean, I definitely want to get this one up to 3 stars. My health is crazy high because I've got a ring here for now that gives me a 91% health bonus, and I don't know if that's on top of all the other ones or if that's factored in, but my health has always been significantly higher than everything else. So even with the 2-star Eternal here, my health is way higher than my defense with the 3-star. I've got like 3.2 billion attack and 3.2 billion health, and the difference here is this is a 2-star versus a 4-star. So that makes it easy for me. So maybe just having that extra health, even without upgrading it, is going to help me out. And what I'll probably do is I really want to keep that extra crit damage for now. I'm going to be in a bad situation if I start pulling off these set bonuses without getting a +2 ring, because if I equip that brutal gaze, there's no set bonus. I'm only getting the defense bonus. So that'd be pretty rough, but I am going to lock this just so I don't accidentally feed it. And then this the thawing gaze is actually close to as good. It has more stat lines. but they're not. Skill cooldown 15. Yeah, I'm gonna keep the Thawing Gaze. So yeah, I've got enough gold to get my weapon up to 1,000 in enchantment, but I don't know if I have enough fodder to do that. So I haven't run my tiered dungeons for the week. So that'll give me a little bit more, and I should definitely save my quartz to upgrade my airship more. It's only level 13 or 14. I've been such a bum about re-rolling my skins. I really, really want to get crit plus skill cooldown on this one here. And wow, apparently my shield hasn't been equipped. What's going on? I really want to get a high crit and a skill cooldown, but I've been spending probably 10, 20,000 quartz re-rolling this thing and just failing to get what I want, and finally got 14 dodge and 13 skill cooldown reduction. So I think that's what I'm going to leave it as for now because my crit is so high. At least for now, wearing these boots. It's way over the cap, but it's in a good spot when I start playing through content where I get debuffs. So we've got, 97%. This is going to get dropped down in tier dungeons, so it's decent. And what was I even looking at? Looking at the boots. So. All right, so the question from Lord Karsh in the chat says that he's currently just under level 4,000 in his stats. He's got 99 million health, 22 million attack, and 24 million. Maybe I got that backwards or something. So high health, low attack, low defense. So Lord Karsh, you definitely want to focus on your attack as being your number one stat to improve. Generally, the ratios are, with attack being your highest stat, and I'm a bit of an exception here because I have some bonuses to health that make it hard for me to keep my attack in line with it. But basically, you want to raise your attack to a specific point, like dump all the gold that you can into your weapon, and run some rifts and get some more gold, and invest in your health and get that around half, at least half of your attack. And then get your defense half of that. So like a 4-2-1 is probably the minimal ratio that people will do or advise. I've seen people with almost no defense, and honestly, I'm not sure if defense even matters, but it seems like it does do some damage reduction. But if you have a crazy high amount of health, they're not going to be able to outdamage that if you combine it with life leech. So I'm not really sure there's one answer, but I hope that helps. So let's see. I'm not going to dump everything in here, but looks like I got enough to get this guy up to 5 stars. So let me sit on that for a minute. I'm going to look through here and lock this Devil's Bone because it has really high attack, and I may not need to keep that. I'm going to look for some recommendations from all of you guys about whether this will be worth keeping at some point. Probably not, but nah, let's just burn it. I'm gonna burn that one. I don't think I'm gonna go ranged. I'm gonna keep going with the melee, or I'm gonna get a Uranus set and go for the staff and book. So Jordan Evans says it's OP. I guess you're saying the Devil's Bone is OP. Oh, it is. Never mind. It says it's a staff. It looks like a bow. So this is a staff. So you know what? I'll hold on to that just in case. That 15%, insta-kill thing is kind of good. I'm still holding on to this Planet Soul in case I get the offhand to go with it. But at this point, I've got a decent God of War axe and the shield. So I think I should just focus on the body armor and the helmet. So, yeah, I know a lot of people are going for the Planet Soul. I guess this is the Uranus set. So I have had a couple I've had the full set at different points in times, but I use those to feed my weapon. And at the point in time, I thought it was a great idea because it seemed to be pretty easy to, like, if I can just upgrade my weapon to the next star level, then I'll have plenty of attack and I'll be able to get that content and I'll be able to get more loot. But then I got to 3 stars and I realized just how expensive it was to get to 4 stars, and 5 stars is even more. So I decided I wanted to slow down and get the weapons and armor that I really wanted with good stat rolls before I invested all those points. So that's one reason why I rolled all these tokens at once, because I had no discipline. If I rolled 2,000 tokens at a time, I was immediately wanting to feed the weapons and armor that I had rather than kind of sort and pick through the stack. So if you've got the time to, or the discipline to just farm the rift shards all week and then dump them all over the weekends running rifts while the gold bonus is up, that's kind of the best of both worlds. And then you can just roll and pick through and really optimize what you want to keep and what you don't. Like this demon chaser, yeah, I'm definitely not going to keep that because, like I said, I'm probably going to go staff and book or sword and shield. So what else do I have? I really need like an icon over here that lets you filter out locked items, because I really just want to see the junk in here. So I guess I could roll and be happy. I just want to make sure that there wasn't something that I really wanted to keep in that stack before I do it. So I think this is the absolute that I got today, and this is the one that I had previously. So, or maybe not. I don't know which one I had first. Yeah, so Jordan says if I can, if I level up my weapon, I can go to higher rifts, which means I have more of a chance to get in-game loot from drops. So I really just need to get the earrings to go with this so I can start making progress with those set bonuses, because I'm pretty locked until I do that. I think there's only so much I can do. So it looks like I do have the planet scales. I mean, I'm going to feed them. Unless they're 3 stars or two or 3 stars and have good stats, I'm going for the helmet and the armor. I think I've got to buy in, and I don't have a good quiver, someone asked, so I don't think I do. I can look. I mean, I've got this little, is it the Destiny set? And no. So, nope, no good quivers. So I guess all I can do now is, so here's the deal. I went from 3 stars to 4 stars on my weapon, and I'm getting killed pretty quickly because I don't have enough defense. So that's where I was like, hey, I really need to get my defense or my health up. So I think that I need to get this guy to level 3. I've got enough infernal fodder to get this guy up, so I'm going to do that real quick. Just to get that out of the way, because I've got to do it. So I got at 3.2 billion health, and this is really going to help my life leech no matter what. So if I can just throw the infernal fodder in here and get this guy leveled up, that's great. So I'll just do that. And I've got so much infernal stuff. That's a pretty good amount. So I'll just level this dude up. I wish I could. I hate that you have to do this so many times. Like, really? I got 164 billion gold. I don't have any danger of spending more than a billion at a time. So I need like a yes, I'm absolutely sure. Please max out this item just to save a minute. All right, so I went from 3.2 billion health to 5.6. So that gives me like 60% more health or something like that. I'm not a math wizard, but huge gains. And then I can dump the rest into my axe and cross my fingers that shit. But looks like I got enough infernal stuff left over to make up the distance. I just want to double check this list one more time. The Razatory ring's going to get fed if let's see if I got enough. I do. So I wanted to save that ring. And actually, let me double check which one was better, just in case. So this was 13, 5. Yeah, so Jordan Evans says I'll get 3 to 4 enhances with 10 billion, but I don't have the fodder to get there, so I'm not too worried about that right now. Maybe next week it'll be a bigger problem. So I'll keep the higher level lighter Vazatory ring and just feed the rest of the internal trash to it. And there we go. Let's get this guy up here. Get him up to 4 stars, 5 stars. All right, dude. That's pretty baller. And now, let us ride. So, I mean, I could take this dude up to Mythic at some point, and I mean, considering it took me basically the full weekend of farming rifts and getting, I mean, I wouldn't say these were lucky rolls. These were pretty average rolls. So that wasn't too bad. So I guess I could just try to get this up to Mythic. I think that's what comes next. So 5,000 quartz, which I don't have because I've been wasting it all on skin rerolls. But so I need 5,000 quartz, and that'll get me up to 0 stars and let me dump more gold in. So this will help me a lot. And then next week, I can save up 40, 50, 60,000 tokens and do another batch and hope for a better axe. So 4 more levels left. I spent less than 20 billion gold, I think, on that. So I've got way too much money. I wish I could spend some on buying quartz or something. I don't know, but let's check out. I got up to 9 billion attack. Now that's nuts because I had, is it 3.2? So I tripled my attack off of that. So that's going to be money right there. I don't know about this defense. I've got less than 1 billion defense, and well, now I got nothing to feed this guy, and I don't really want to feed it. Yeah, I got nothing. So we'll see. I guess I can try. Well, let's pull this quartz right here, and it looks like I might have enough to exactly what I needed, man. You want to evolve this thing to Mythic for 5,000? Why not? Evolve away. Take my money. There we go. There's Samsar's first Mythic right there. Take a screenshot. Thumbs up. It's all thanks to your help. And looks like I can dump some more gold into this thing. So look, I'm already up to 11 billion attack. So, you know, this has turned out to be a better weekend than I thought. So let's bump this up. This is going to take forever, huh? All right, there we go. Now I'm spending that money. All right, what's it going to take? Am I going to run out of gold here? I bet you I will. Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. I was talking smack on how little gold that cost to upgrade earlier, and now it's eating it away. But if I can get from Rift 21 to like 24, 25 off of this, I'll be surprised because I'm probably going to get one hit killed by these little archers. So I'm at 1070. And I'm out of gold, so I got pretty close. I got 15 more levels, 26 billion attack from 3 billion. Whoa, that's pretty good. You can tell I'm happy about that. So, well, let's go crush, let's go find something to crush. It'll probably crush me though. I'll probably get one hit. So I gotta take let me check my extracts, make sure I've got the right stuff on. I don't have my life leech, I'm going to get murdered. So Lord Karsh asks, what's the best way to get quartz and eternal tokens? He's guessing from the rifts and such. So quartz, there's a couple things you can do. First thing is you can dump a few quest points into the airship. It's going to give you a tiny amount of quartz. If you've already decided to spend a little money on the game, you should absolutely buy that ship and level it up to at least level 1 or 2. The return on investment in it is not that high. If you look at the spreadsheet that we built, it's minimal for the spend on it. But basically, I've got level 5, and it's giving me like, I don't know if it's 250 or 300 quartz a day. So it's pretty tiny in the grander scheme of things. Rifts at my level, rift level 21, I don't know when the jump is, but I think you start getting lower amounts of quartz in rifts, and then eventually they go up to about 7. So I ran over 1,000 rifts this weekend, so I got over 7,000 quartz from that. A majority of the quartz, however, are coming from completions of set bonuses. So if you guys saw after I finished the Eternal pools, I got over 3,000 quartz from a couple of new items that I picked up gave me 1,000, and a few of the Infernals I still got a small bonus from. That's where a majority of those quartz are going to come from. I also get fairly lucky with the game, the mini game, the little rock, paper, scissors, and I just spam scissors over and over again. And if I get to the end of the 1 heart guys and I have all my hearts or 2 hearts, I keep going. So I don't always have great luck, but I usually get about maybe between 300 and 600 quartz a day on those. Like if you average it all out, maybe less, I'm not sure. It's easy to kind of fudge the numbers. Like I got 1,000 today off of one of the runs, but there's been times where I've lost. I've beaten the first boss with the rock, paper, scissors, and then the second one killed me, and I only got 50 quartz. So it was pretty embarrassing. And other ways to get quartz are in the adventure. So I spend the full week farming overnight and during the day in the adventure. If you have the Treasure Goblin Hunter, if you do the monthly pack, you get an infinite amount, which means you can go 24/7 and then it will pick up the treasure goblins. There's a statistical chance that you can, let me pull this spreadsheet up for you real quick. So there's a statistical chance that one of those treasure goblins will drop quartz. He'll drop up to 20 of them. So I've been keeping track of, for the past few nights when I run these, I keep track of when I start, when I end, what my starting balances are. And on average, I'm getting about, if you look at this column here, maybe 80 quartz an hour, which is not a ton. If you factor that up of farming 10, 12 or more hours a day during the week, you're going to be sitting on thousands of quartz. So statistically, I'm getting about 1.3 quartz per level completed on average, and like 6.5, close to 7% of a chance of a rift shard dropping per level completed in the adventure. So I'm hoping to get those numbers improved by completing rifts faster. I don't know if there's any other way to get, or not rifts, but levels, adventure levels. I don't know if there's any way to have a higher chance of meeting the treasure goblin other than to invest in the rifts. But I've already maxed out the Elf King's Flute. So 15% chance of the goblin appearing, and then 10 levels in the Golden Goblin Relic, which I really don't want to keep spending a bunch of quest points. I'm not a whale, so I've got to send my kids to school kind of thing. So maybe if I have some extra, I'll dump in here and see if it maxes out at level 15 for an added 5%. That could really impact my ability to get more quartz. So I don't know yet. I don't have the data to make a good decision on that yet. So anyways, good question. And I said I was going to go run a Rift, so let's see if I get one shot by these dudes. I still haven't beaten Rift 22, so and let me go back and set up my stuff and equipment. I'm pretty much wearing what I need to wear. So let's try Rift 22 out, see what happens. Yeah, so yeah, no problem, Lord Karshay. I know that's not the shortest answer, but I answer questions for a living at my work, and it's hard to be accurate and be quick. So someone more polished would be able to rattle off an answer quicker, but looks like I'm doing okay in the Rift here, and I didn't take any time to change my skills, and I don't know if there's anything more optimal, honestly, but because I have so much health, now I more than doubled my health. It looks like they're not taking too much of a bite out of me, so at this rate, I'll probably be able to beat Rift 22, 23, maybe 24, and take a shot at beating T3 Dungeon. So that'd be cool. All right, so 3 minutes and 24 seconds on that, and I got 10 chests, so that's actually going to be pretty nice, having a higher chest drop rate. I was only getting 9 on Rift 21, like every time, pretty much. I don't know that I was ever getting 10, but I might be wrong. So things are looking pretty good here. I think they're doing a little bit more damage to me when they can hit me, but because my attack is so ridiculous, I'm pretty much one-shotting most of the stuff with my skills. I don't think I have any music going. I got to figure that out for the next live stream. I'll just unmute this guy, let you listen to some Raid the Dungeon background. And you might notice I took the labels off for the damage counts because they started getting so big it was just covering the whole screen. And I like the artwork in this game and want to see the monsters. Although they, you blow them up in half a second and it's all over, but they look really cool. And in the beginning when you're doing like 300 damage and it doesn't really matter, but a bunch of big orange numbers filling half the screen. I can't tell what's going on. So, oh, you know what? I wasn't even paying any attention. Did I get killed? So let's return to the village. Looks like I might have either beat the rift or while I was talking, or I got killed. So let's take a glance and see what happened. So Rift 22 went down easily, and just get rid of this chunk. A little void band with the worst void band I've ever seen. Rifts. Let's see. Rift. It looks like I beat 23, so let's go to 24 and see what happens. I'm running this emulator on my PC. It's probably 10 years old at this point, and it's not as fast as my phone, so it takes a little minute to load. Alright, so things are going really well in Rift 24, and I'm still not taking much damage, probably because I've got the life leech. So what I could really do is keep investing in my shield and get my shield to, 3 stars? Now I could get it to 4 stars pretty easily. And then that's going to be my strategy, is run this all week. And is that an eternal chest back there, or is that a gem chest? Okay. Little blue thing in the background. So I'm going to farm all week and definitely leveled my shield up because the health is... Oh man, I keep forgetting to go to the next rift. Sorry, guys. So I'm going to dump all my loot, if I get any during the week, like from the tier dungeons into my shield to get me more health, and save up and shoot for the Uranus set helmet and chest, because it's not going to help to keep pumping, you know, all my fodder into this when it's not that great. Like I've got to get rid of this one with a better set at some point. All right, Rift 24 went down, and so I'm noticing here I was only getting 10% reduction in crit rate and stuff. So this jumps to 30% at Rift 25 and 15% skill cooldown. So I might have to look at, you know, what am I really getting? What do I have in these stats? Because if you're getting close to 0, you might be better off like not putting any points into some of these and doubling up elsewhere. So considering I blew through Rift 24 okay, I might beat this one, but with all the debuffs, I'm probably going to get smashed. So let's see. I was a betting man. I'd say probably 33% chance that I'm going to beat this Rift. So let's see. Oh, no. Yeah. Little archers here just completely mowed me down. Didn't take a second. So I might be able to beat Rift 25 when I'm not immediately assaulted by archers, but that one was a no-go. It was a non-starter. So maybe maybe next week. That was probably my world record for the fastest death in a Rift ever. Not ready for that one. So I would say it's embarrassing, but considering I just jumped 3 full rifts without any added defense, I'd say that's probably okay. So I can roll the dice on this tier dungeon. I did tier dungeons 1 and 2 last week, so let's see if we can get maybe tier dungeon 3. I was a little worried about the, not so much the boss attack, but the boss health and not being able to complete it in time. But now that I got this, you know, crazy weapon, mythic, I'll probably be able to mow them down. So I'll give it a shot. Tier 3, and the debuffs aren't too bad, I don't think. Just 50, well, yeah, basically this is the same thing as Rift 25, so I might get murdered here too. We'll see. It's only one. I can always pay 300 quartz to make up for the difference if I fail here. So far so good. It looks like they're not taking too much out of me with the life leech to fill it back up, and I get to the boss, and yeah, he's gonna go down. It might take me a minute here. I mean, even with that, how much does my attack go up? Like almost 10 times the attack as I had before. This is still taking some time to beat down the boss, so I'm pretty sure I'll be able to beat it before time runs out, but and there's practically no way I'm going to beat tier 4 off of this, even if I can live long enough. So at any rate, I should be able to run this 5 times, and then that'll give me some fodder for, I guess, my shield. I'll just dump it in the shield. I doubt the extra health is going to be enough to let me get through Rift 25, but there's only one way to know. And then next week when I have all the tokens, I'll do more pulls and cross fingers for some better armor. Alright, so 1:25 left on the clock. That was not as good as I expected, to be honest, but you know, what do you do? It's not supposed to be easy. So really that's all I've got planned to show. Thanks for people who joined in, and if there's any questions, I've got some time to try to answer those now. If there's anything that you guys want to see, let me know. I know a lot of you are more veteran players than I am, so it probably should be you guys showing me. But I'm happy to try to help. And I agree. JM says that I really need to update my defense, or raise my defense, and looks like he says Shadow Assassin will probably beat me. And yeah, he tended to beat me back in the lower level rifts. I don't know why he's so tough, but he is. I should probably start dumping some, like, get this defense up a little higher. I focused a lot in attack, and clearly that helped, but right now I'm getting beat down in the defense department. All right, what can I do? Really wish I could get that mount, but maybe I'll buy some more packs in a few weeks or whenever the next event is. Yeah, unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to swap this helmet out, I don't think. Like, I could pretty much double my defense by pouring money into one of these helmets and leveling it up, because it would be better than this armor. But the problem with that is I'm going to lose this 100% crit damage increase, and that is going to kill, well, it'll kill my DPS a bit, which I guess only matters in content that I would time out on rather than die. So maybe it would be better just to try to upgrade the helmet and go with it. So, question is, do I do the Brutal Gaze, or the Thawing Gaze has higher defense, but it's a higher tier. So I have to do the math to see. This is 50 points off, and this is 60 points off. So basically these are almost equal in defense, you know, minus the difference in their tier. So this one has a 15% skill cooldown reduction. This one has a 16. I might have to study these dudes and figure out which one's the better one to keep and pick one. Although I could just dump my gold in it and swap them out as I need, but nine base attack. I think I'm just going to keep the better one. So I have a question in the chat. Mr. No One asked me, what is my life leech? So I have really poor life leech on my basic equipment. I have, it looks like none of it is showing up here. Maybe it only shows up in the battle screen. I don't see it here, but I have extractions for that, the void power. So I lucked out and got this on the first try, which I you know, I feel a little bad about. I'm happy about it, but I've heard people in the Discord say, hey, I've tried the disenchant, or I've tried to extract this like 9 or 10 times and failed. So that's champion info. Okay. So thanks for that. Hey, good to know. So my health recovery on attack is 0.67. I don't know where all that comes from, because I've got a couple of champions that help I've got Mr. Voltaire here giving me 0.05, which is practically nothing. And the Majin Satyr, or Satyr, I don't know how to, I think I've heard it both ways. Gives me the same. And this guy looks pretty cool the way he warps around, but I don't know if he's really worth it. Like, it's hard to tell what is really effective and what's not. And I don't think any of my other companions help with the life leech. So health recovery on attack, I'm getting, you know, this 0.67 with the 2% that I get from the void set. So it's weird that that's not really factored in. And then the defeat monster to recover, like 7%, who cares? That doesn't even seem to work all the time, to be honest, because you can mow down like a huge pile of enemies and your health only goes up a little bit. So I'm not sure if that is finishing blows from a regular attack or from skills or what, but so someone asked to see my relics. I'm really lagging here compared to some of you guys. Like, I've seen folks with like 500, 600, 700 in some of these. I tried to come across the line pretty evenly originally, and then during the middle of the week I invested all my points into the blue and the green dungeons because I wanted to get these guys high. For one, having multiplication on your boss damage helps in all the content for PvE, but skill damage helps a ton in all content, including the arena. And I was getting smacked around in the arena. And then on the weekends I was focusing on the lightning rune. That's pretty obvious why. You get the extra gold and it helps with the crit multiplier, but I think I'm going to probably spend the entire week pouring all of it into this one. And now that I have this better weapon, I should be able to clear the yellow dungeon quicker. I was having trouble, you know, running out of time. The way that they stagger the enemies out, like you go through different waves, and by the time you get to the boss, I'd have, you know, 2 minutes left or whatever. So maybe I'll do better this week and get this up to, if I could guess, maybe 450, 500 by next week. Probably not 500 though. And that will help me a bit. But again, I'm going to take a huge hit on my crit damage when I change out this armor for something else. This the Storm Dusk set. So what I really need is to get the Absolute and its companion to get the bonus to Eternals, so that I can get this crit damage increased by 150%, and then it's not going to matter. So I'll have a net bonus. But I really can't afford to do that until I get some. I really need the items to give me the bonuses to Eternal sets, because I'm pretty much. It's just too much of a trade-off otherwise. So any other questions? I did the tier dungeon. I did some rifts. Really happy about leveling up. Let's see how well I do in the chapter. So I still haven't cleared chapter 54 because I was getting one hit. I usually don't have. I can probably change into my farming gear for this. I don't need. Like, I'm over my crit cap, basically. And I'm going to completely destroy everything in here with, you know, the bonuses to attack that I got from upgrading my weapon. And this is going to take a long time, too. These chapters are... Well, this one's not as bad as... I think it's 52 or 53, 51. I don't remember which one. It's just... The levels are really long. It just takes too long to get across. My movement speed isn't the best. It's only 3.2 base with, you know, these guys. I don't have any skills, or not riding the Griffin right now. Yeah, so I mean, normally I would use the Griffin for farming overnight. This was the last chapter, or the last, I guess, chapter that I got to, and of course, basically, I finish one, it's real easy. I get to the next chapter, and then they murder me with one hit. Usually it's the archers. So I expect to be able to beat this chapter in maybe 54-1, but if there's a trend, I'll probably get killed as soon as I walk into the next stage. So far, so good. I mean, it's pretty easy when you just one-hit everything and they don't hit you, but as soon as I roll up on a group of those little archers or the bears that shoot the missiles at you, they'll probably take me down pretty good. Well, might beat this chapter. So after this, I'll probably shut down the stream, and I don't know what happens next. I guess the video might get posted to Facebook to view. I did record this on my OBS, so what I will do is take a look at that footage during the week, and depending on how bad it is, I'll either chop it up, or at the very least I'll add some background music to it, and then I'll probably need to cut out some segments so it's easier to watch, and post that up for those of you who didn't join. So to those who are still there, thank you for joining. I appreciate the support and glad I can help you out, entertaining you and answering questions. And good luck to you guys in your farming and loot pulls as well. Hopefully you have better luck than I do. Kind of surprised I'm not getting murdered yet, so looks like I'm finally starting to take good damage. So I'll probably finish this chapter and then get stuck at the end of the next stage. If I don't know. Looks like the ranged units are taking me down, so I've got a really high life on hit, but if I one-shot everything with an AoE, then I guess I don't get to take advantage of it. I'm honestly not sure exactly how it works. I think it may be basic attacks. Well, almost there. I made a rebound, got my health back, so we'll probably be all right. Maybe I can dash a little bit to speed this up. This is pretty boring. It'll be much more fun to watch with the Griffin. I guess that's one of the things that I guess that's one of the things that the developer does to challenge you, is make the stages longer, so you need to optimize your movement speed to get through here quicker. Otherwise, you'd be clearing stages in 20 seconds or something. So that guy actually stunned me. I don't really see that in a regular level. So if I get attacked by ranged units, I'm pretty much done. Yeah, it looks like I'm not gonna make it. They're just taking me down, but I've got a lot of health, so if I focus on getting my defense up just one tier, like one upgrade, adding 1 star to my armor, or whatever my strategy will be, I should be able to defend enough to get through here, or I could improve my shield and just have more health. I don't know what I'm gonna do, but I've got a week to figure that out. So, looks like I'm stuck. Hey, Shaman Octane, thanks for joining. I don't see a participant list in here, so I don't know you're there until you talk. But yeah, that looks like the end of my road there. So maybe next week I will get to chapter 56 after doing a bunch of pulls and upgrading my gear. So I think that's all for me tonight. I thank you for joining, and I'll see you guys around. Later.